Hey guys, welcome back to the garage. I am Rob with Rad Projects here. This is my first video of 2026 and I am sorry that it has taken this long to get a video out, but it has been quite busy over the past while and I'm going to take you through what's been going on. You will notice that the garage is pretty darn empty right now, and there is a good reason for that. Over the past couple months, I have sold not only the Mini Snowcat, but the PTV. They're both gone. So earlier in January, I did sell the Mini Snowcat. It has gone to a new home, and the new owner is loving that unit. I'm really pleased that he's enjoying it as much as I had. And the other thing is, the PTV has sold. And in this video, we are going to go through some of the upgrades that we will be finishing off before we get it to the new owner. Well, this is going to be the last video of the PTV on this channel. It is going to be going to a new owner soon enough. So I've had the PTV listed on Marketplace for about the past 5 months, and I've had a lot of interest but not many people who have been following up with it. About 4 weeks ago I was contacted by one person who was interested in it, and it turns out that they are in a wheelchair. So they recognize that this machine would be a perfect fit for what they need as far as a unit that can give them the mobility that they need to be able to have the off-road capabilities and be stable enough for them. So today we are going to be making a couple small modifications to the PTV to make it more accessible for them, and hopefully they can get a little bit better use out of the machine. The buyer was interested in the unit because it looked a lot similar to another machine out there that they had been wanting to buy for a really long time. It's called the Rip Chair, manufactured by a company that you might be familiar with, How. They are the manufacturers of what is known as the Rip Saw, the high-performance off-road tank. And so they've made this Rip Chair machine. Looks very similar to the PTV, and that is what caught the eye of the buyer. Unfortunately, that machine is no longer manufactured, and it was also quite expensive in its time. So they saw this PTV and said, that is the next best thing. I'm interested in it. Let's get this set up. In today's video, we are going to do a couple little modifications before we get it out to them to make it a little bit more user-friendly so that they don't have to worry about it once it's in their hands. So what we're going to be working on today is to get this engine swapped out with a new one that has electric start. We're not going to be going to a larger engine. We're just going to go with something that is a little bit more user-friendly so that you don't have to get out and use the recoil to get it started every time. I think that'll make this machine a perfect fit. And so fortunately, I was in contact with an acquaintance of mine at Princess Auto that I met through the Inventors Fair, and Princess Auto was generous enough to donate this engine and a battery for the starter. We've got a brand new 15 horsepower Pro Point engine with electric start. They donated this to the project at absolutely no cost. I have let the buyer know that Princess Auto has made this donation. They are absolutely grateful for this, and I think this is going to be a tremendous enhancement for this machine, really to put the cherry on the top and make it an excellent machine. take a look at what I've achieved so far. So the old engine is removed. It was just slightly more compact, so the muffler was a little bit closer in, and I had omitted the cover for the air intake, but I'm going to leave it on this engine. And because I'm leaving it on, I need to do a little bit of modification, so I'll step you through that quickly. So when the engine came from the store, basically it was rotated 180 degrees, so it poked out a little bit further, and it was a little bit further this way. So I've turned it all the way around, and that just brings it a little closer into the engine. The other thing I had to do was just a minor modification on the heat shield here. So as you can see, I did have to trim out a portion of it, so it previously continued on, and it would have overlapped just slightly. So I think just cutting that out is perfectly acceptable. It gives us just a little bit of clearance between the exhaust and the mounting plate. It'll get hot. It got hot on the other one. In fact, this plate was directly up against the muffler on the other one, so I'm not too worried about that. But overall, alignment is really good. So it's bolted in with 2 bolts right now. We've got everything right where we want it. So what I need to do is mark out a couple holes for the new mounting location. So you can see these are the old mounting holes, and then these are the new ones. So this nice elongated hole here, it hits this cross member beautifully. But I'm gonna have to come up with a plan just to extend this front cross member out a little bit. It's gonna suck because I have to drill through that weld zone. So we'll come up with a little bit of a plan there. But overall, everything is coming together really nicely, and that's just because all of these engines are, you know, standardized. They have an SAE mounting bolt pattern. The crank is the same length. All of that's exactly identical, and that just makes it easier for an engine swap. So we really don't need to worry about changing any of the drive arrangement. That stays all exactly as is. So eventually we'll just bolt back on our drive pulley and we'll be good to go. But for now, like I said, we're gonna focus on getting the engine mounts re-drilled, get it secured, get the pumps attached for their final time. We're gonna have to come up with a couple other things here. So I did have to remove the control box, and what we'll end up doing is just extending that up to the operator area, just so that you don't have to actually reach back to do anything like that. And we're also gonna have to come up with a battery mount. So I do have a small 12-volt battery that we will be using for this. This is also something that Princess Auto had donated. It was really nice of them to do this. So I'm thinking we're probably gonna have enough space on the other side. Now it's not perfect, but we could probably get a little mount to hold it right there, and that might actually be the best spot. It still makes it usable to release the clutch for the belt, and it keeps it out of the way. It's accessible, so we'll build a bracket for that, get that secured in. So we'll keep going. So we've got the engine installed. It is bolted into place. It is nice and secure. Look at that clearance that we have around there. That could not have worked out any better. I am so happy about that. And the pumps are all securely mounted on there, so we got excellent clearance. The only way I could have hoped for a better installation was just to not have to do any of these little kind of tweaks, but again, it was pretty darn close. Very little effort to get it to this point. So the next step is to get that battery box and battery mounted here. Do a little bit of wiring. We're going to relocate that key switch probably somewhere up to the front here. We'll get the control cables back installed, and hopefully we can get this wrapped up pretty quickly. We have got the engine installed. We built a battery holder. So basically it's a couple pieces of angle and there's just some flat bar on the end. And then what I did is I just drilled and tapped a 1/4 inch hole so that this bungee cord can get bolted into place and it holds the battery in place nicely. The engine is all ready to go. I need to hook up the throttle cable, but before I get to that, I was working on getting the key switch module mounted. So that is now in place. We're going to do a little bit of wiring. We have about 18 inches of wire that we need to get installed there. We also need to do the heavy gauge battery cables to the starter, and we should be getting pretty close to a startup here. Alright guys, it is time to fire up the beast. Everything's ready. We've got oil, we've got fuel, throttle, controls. I'm going to leave the belt not tensioned for the moment just to get this up to warm up and start up, make sure it's okay. Then we'll engage the belt. We should be good to go. So here goes nothing. Beautiful. Oh, that starts so nice. So I'm going to just check the oil, and provided that's okay, we will throw a jack. There we go. Well, this is it. This is the last time the PTV is going to be in the garage. And I did a couple little things just to get it buttoned up. Overall, not a lot changed. What I ended up doing is just drilling out the end of this shaft here. This is the shaft that the tracks pivot on at the front point. I just put a cotter pin there to make sure that there's no possibility for them to come off. Another thing I did is I drilled this hole here. This is the 1/4 inch bolt that usually holds the belt tensioner in place. And when you release it, I've always been just setting it on the muffler or on the gas can or something. And so I figured, well, nice little hole there would be a great place to store that. So that's what else I got done. We got through probably a good 4 hours of running the engine so far, so it's pretty much broken in now. I drained the oil, put a new fresh oil fill in it, so it's good to go. And overall, yeah, we are ready to get this sucker loaded up. And tomorrow morning, we're going to be leaving bright and early to deliver this unit. Well, that was a little colder than when we were loading up for the Inventors Fair, that's for sure. But we got it all done. She's ready to go. One last check. Oh yeah, that ain't going nowhere. So yeah, we've got quite a drive. We're gonna be leaving bright and early tomorrow. We have about 430 kilometers one way, so it's gonna be a pretty long day to get this out to the new owner. But that's it for now. Well, we're about 15 minutes away from delivery. We've been on the road for about 3.5 hours now. It's been quite a long drive, and looking forward to getting out and delivering this unit. Well, we've made it, and the unit has been delivered. I am really excited about how well everything has worked out. The new engine's working great. I think the new owner is going to love this machine. It's going to make a big difference for him. And I appreciate everybody that's been along this journey with me. And I hope that you stick around to see some of the upcoming projects I have. That's pretty great, hey? I think you'll agree that the PTV has gone to the right place. I am absolutely delighted to know that the new owner is going to enjoy that unit for many years to come. And further on that note, I would like to say thank you to Princess Auto for their donation of that engine. That's going to make a big difference for the user as well, being able to be seated and start that unit up at the turn of a key. It's a really huge improvement over the original machine. So again, thank you very much to my friend Mike and the Princess Auto team. And overall, that's all I have for this video. There will be more to come. Obviously not track vehicle, PTV or Snowcat related, but there will be other builds going on the channel this upcoming year. I have all kinds of ideas floating around in my mind, and it's just a matter of making them a reality. So thanks for watching this video. I appreciate you guys. If you haven't liked or subscribed, be sure to do so now. I really do appreciate it. The channel is really growing, and yeah, it's just great to have everybody along. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.